Why am I always forgetting my keys? So my experience with Ring alarm system has been good. In fact, it's been so good I keep adding to it and building into this system in my home. Let me tell you why. So I did several videos on smart home gadgets and other things and just trying to look at what's the value in these, what's the value price-wise, what's the value for life, some other home DIY fix-it type things. So if you like those things, do subscribe or just like today's video. Claims made in this video represent the opinions and experiences of its creator and are intended for entertainment purposes only. While the video creator is expressing views about real experiences, the views are not intended to convey any guarantees, and this party cannot be held liable if your experience is not equally positive. The video's creator is only attempting to be considered for products to review, as well as create content considered cringeworthy by his teenage children. So obviously the main reason anyone's going to install an alarm system is to prevent people from breaking into your home. So I'm going to go over today why the Ring alarm system has worked so well for me, and why I trust it as a system, and why I keep adding to it. So I find the Ring devices are really reliable. I have a lot of different smart home brands, and a lot of things do a lot of neat things really well. But this is the brand, these are the devices I find to be just about the most reliable of anything I have in my home. They work. They work all the time. They're connected. The app works. The devices work well together. So the Ring devices are incredibly reliable and they're easy to use, and so I think this gives you a system to do what you're wanting to do, to protect your home, to make sure that nothing bad happens. And so preventing a break-in, I believe, is more important than detecting a break-in. And so I think that Ring devices and their visibility will help you to keep this from happening in your home. So with my setup, I have over 30 Ring devices set up, along with the other ALEXA devices. And these are the sensors. These are the window sensors, the door sensors, the motion sensors, the keypads, the cameras on the doors, the doorbell cameras, indoor camera. And so all of this works together to create a system that we can trust when we're home with one setting, or when we're away with the away settings that will motion to trigger alarms and whatnot. So I've been using this system for over 3 years now, and it has grown as I've gone. I've actually gotten rid of a few things which were other brands and replaced them now with Ring devices, just because it's easier sometimes to use everything in one app, and these things work well together because they're the same brand. So let's talk about expenses. Ring is not cheap. It's not cheap to get started. Of course, it's cheaper than having a professionally installed system in your home. And so if you're just looking for a way for you to control and make your home safe, I believe Ring is a very good option. I figure that over the course of about 3 years, my system is costing me at this point, it's about 50 cents a day over this course of time. Obviously, another year, the price comes down, but I'll probably add a few more devices or gadgets, and so that will probably keep my price somewhere in that range. So obviously, if you're watching this video, you're a little curious, you're investigating, you're checking these out. And home break-ins are a real thing. Nobody ever wants their home to be broken into. So some data collected by the FBI, also some of it put out by ADT, but 60% of all break-ins are residential. So businesses get broken into, homes get broken into. 60% though are going to be residential. 34% of break-ins are right through the front door of a home. And a lot of these are actually, they check to see if the door might be unlocked. 34% are the front door. About 23% are going to be a first floor window. And then 22% are going to be a back door or some other door besides the front door. And so you put all that together, those are the main 3 areas. Of course, there aren't a whole lot of other ways into a house. The next largest is only a 9%, but that's someone coming through a garage. Of course, there's a lot of different garage connections, but someone getting in through a garage door, and a lot of garages connect to the house, they lead into the kitchen or whatever. So another interesting stat by the FBI is that 57.5% of break-ins are forced entry. So actually a breaking and entering. And the others are that test the doorknob, see if there's an open window or something, and you just are able to slip in. So 57.5%. So what's surprising about that is that nearly 4 in 10 burglaries happen without forced entry, without breaking a lock or a window or something else. Obviously, no system is foolproof, but setting up a DIY system like Ring is going to be an effective way to monitor your home. For me, I like the cameras, I like the multiple layers that we have installed, and that helps to make this work, to know who's coming and going, what time, to know if someone's approaching the door, know if someone's in the backyard. And you have it there on your phone, so you can monitor it. Obviously, you can't monitor every situation all day long, but for the most part, that we're aware of what's happening and can keep up with who's coming into the house. So another FBI stat that I thought was interesting is that 83% of burglars will test to see if those security system signs are actually backed up by a real security system. 83%. Where in the world did they get that number? Did they interview? I don't know. So how do you deter a burglar? Well, I think the signs matter. Having a sign in the window, having the cameras, doorbell cameras matter, but there are cameras everywhere, so I don't think thieves are that deterred by cameras anymore. But I think the sound, if someone opens a window or a door and it starts the chirping, the beeping, the alarm's about to go off sound, or the alarm actually going off, I think that's when most burglars are going to decide they're not coming in at all. I think that the visibility of a system being in place is also important to be that deterrent. So if you can decide to keep someone out of your house, there are obviously other ways to do that, to have secure doors, to have very good locks on those doors, but also having a good visible security system in place that's going to alert intruders that they shouldn't come in. I think that's a great way to keep your house safer and to avoid someone actually being in your home. The FBI says that the typical cost to a homeowner of a break-in is about $2,700. So obviously that could vary a whole lot depending on what's stolen. But if someone robs you and the cost is $2,700, I actually think the mental and emotional costs are going to be higher than that, having known that someone's been in your home and that could happen again. I think that the cost of that is even higher. So to me, that's a more important reason to have an alarm than the things that are going to be taken. We don't really keep a lot of gold or diamonds or anything in our house, but we have people here and we want it to feel safe. Let's look at a little example floor plan here because I think it helps to put things into perspective in terms of what an alarm system does for you. So if the stats are correct from the FBI, then you have two entrances here in this simple floor plan. You have a back door, a front door, but then every first floor window is going to be an entry point that you have to protect. So with this house, you would want a sensor on everything on the first floor. And to me, that's for when you're home. When you're away, you not only have the sensors, but then you also have a motion sensor here for the main room that if anything is moving through these doors, you are going to capture it. Now, what I like to have also is cameras on the doors, doorbell cameras or other security cameras in place that will alert you to motion to someone approaching the house in a way that if I'm away and someone's coming to my front door, I can first see who it is, and then I often will see if it's somebody with my home, I see my alarm get disarmed, but then I see them rearm the alarm, and both of those are signals that it's a person who's supposed to be in the house because they know how to disarm the door. And if I need to, I can look at the footage of who's coming in and out. So second floor, if this house had a second floor, not really something to worry about. If it had a basement or something under it, then I think you would make sure that your basement windows are secure and any entrance into the house that could be that way. But with each house is different, but you always want to think about the most, your weakest points is what you want to guard, and that's what the Ring security system does well. So I hope today's video was helpful to give you an idea of Ring and why it works for me and whether or not it might be a good value for you and your home. Thanks for watching.